Good day, friends. April the 1st, 2024. Having heard the recent news about the I think it's a missile strike in Damascus on either the Iranian consulate or the building next door to the Iranian consulate, which seems to have taken out at least 10 people, if not more. And I asked if retrievals were necessary and was told that they were, and I should have a go. One can't always tell because there are people that, like myself, that do retrievals all over the place. Somebody might have been onto it faster than me, but not so. Not this time, anyway. So this is a distance projection, as you will know from other videos that I've done in the past. Computer's giving me 12 minutes. We'll see how long that lasts. So let's have a go. Projecting now. The vicinity of the blast on the non-physical level has much of the same components, if you like, as the physical level that you may have seen in media. The thought forms of the smashed, destroyed buildings are there. And it happened fairly quickly, so not surprisingly, I am seeing several shapes moving around in, well, obviously shock. Seems to me they've been bounced out of their bodies very quickly. And, yeah, let's see. I approach a middle-aged man, I guess. Seems to be in some sort of military-type outfit, but, you know, whether he was actually wearing it when he was taken out or automatically assumed it when he went instantaneously into spirit body, I'm not sure. He asks me who I am. And in a guarded, sort of untrusting sort of way, he doesn't believe my answer. And I assure him that there's no deception underway here, that I am indeed here to help him move on to spirit. And then it's more distrust. Do I know the level of paradise that he belongs in, or he thinks he belongs in? I say yes. And he still looks distrusting. He still wants to hang around that ruined building. He's obviously, well, I shouldn't say obviously, he's angry. And wanting vengeance, wanting to speak to others of his bubble, shall we say, those who sympathize and are acting in their tribal fashion, and so that he can somehow help arrange retribution. I tell him that I doubt he'll be able to do that, that his desire to do so will not help him any. It will go right over the heads of those he would like to contact. And he's reacting automatically rather than sort of thinking through the situation. And I understand that. It if it was a bomb or a missile strike, it happened very quickly. And I suggest that we go and talk to other ghostly figures I see moving around. And he hadn't actually noticed them. And I said, well, I'm going over here. Why don't you just come with me and see what's going on? And he sort of hangs back and looks at me like, is this a good move? Is this guy going to betray me? Is there going to be a sudden assassination attempt? And given his military bearing, it's not surprising. He, I don't know if he even actually sees the building he was in as destroyed. He could still be seeing it as a thought form of its former self. But I approach another gentleman who seems to be equally dazed, and explain myself to him. It's an awful situation, a place where you can rest and relax and talk to people of your nation. Again, he doesn't trust me. I've explained what I might be able to do for him, and I turn, as I'm talking to him, turn to the fellow that I was talking to and sort of hold out my hand so that he'll notice him. And they do. Then he sees them, and they walk over, or he walks over to the other fellow, and they start talking. I keep my distance and try not to listen, and giving them some sort of semblance of privacy as they discuss their situation. And it seems like a good idea to go look for some others. So I do. And this is, I don't know, I did go backwards in time by intention. It's maybe half an hour after the actual missile strike. I'm not sure, but something like that. And another younger man, not that much younger, maybe 35 instead of 50, and he's also a mess, although physically he looks all right. He hasn't realized what has happened, and I try to explain it to him. And he looks at me like I'm crazy. Like, what, I'm dead? No, you're kidding. And I said, no, I'm not. You're dead. And would you like to go on to the paradise or stick around here? And of course, he wants to stick around here too. There's a fierce determination to these guys, and which is fine when you're in warrior mode, but I don't think it doesn't do you that much good when you're a spirit. Of course, they don't realize they're a spirit, so they don't seem to anyway. And their bodies are not, their spirit bodies are not, dusty or bloody, or, they don't have any indications of, harm or destruction, which is interesting. But often when there's a sudden explosion without warning, people get shocked out of their bodies and they have an expectation that this is me and this is how I look and this is how I'm dressed, and they carry that with them. And I've seen this in more civilian situations where there's a quote-unquote natural disaster, like a gas explosion or something like that. And they can be hard to convince. And so I kind of sort of make hand movements and indicate the other two that are a little over. And he sort of goes, oh, like that, a little shocked, and kind of walks over and talks to the other two, or seems to. and I leave them be. And I'm thinking about the possibility of people that haven't seen the building or continue to see the building as whole and feel themselves trapped in a destroyed building. As some people often, that can happen. Often in earthquakes it happens. And so I'm kind of peering with this sort of spirit vision into the destroyed building, and wondering if there's somebody in there. And there is. Yeah, they're stuck under, slabs of concrete and, bits of furniture and goodness knows what else. And it's a woman, I think. No, it's a woman. I know it's a woman. And what can I do for this person? Well, let me see if I can use spirit energy to kind of spirit her out of this perception of a destroyed building. It's all about perception. And people have different perceptions. You can't assume when you go to a place that you know what their perceptions are. And you have to sort of feel out the situation. So I'm using a sort of an energy that I understand but find hard to explain to sort of draw her out of the destruction. And somehow I manage that. And she's standing like a whole person in front of me, in looking at me like, who are you and what happened? And I try to explain, and it's not going that well. And again, I'm not really being believed, but let's go on to part 2.